Hey there, Virgo. This is Joy with Joy of the World, here to take an intuitive peek into the energies going on around you. Friends and subscribers, welcome back. And if you're new to this channel, click that subscribe and ring the bell. Ring the bell. Ring the bell. Ring the bell and they will notify you anytime I post new videos. Also, if you find you like the content we provide here at Joy of the World, give us that big thumbs up. Like and share. Share with your peeps. Share with your friends. Share with your family. Let's stir up a whole bunch of love for this world we live in. Share with the whole wide world. Let's get these energy sessions on out there so everybody will peace out. They will level up and they will walk in love. I'd love to live in that world. How about you? I've been dreaming of it from the day I was born. Now, I got to tell you, Virgo, I had already started recording you. I'm telling you, I got a new microphone, so thank God it didn't keep going, because whatever I've listened to back to poor old Cancer and Leo having to suffer through theirs, but their readings cannot be changed. They've got to come on through, and it fluxes in and out. And I was like, what is that? It's not even based on how I moved, but anyways, irregardless, there was a bit of an interruption to your video. And then following it a few minutes later, my dearest friend stopped by. And so I'm going to slip that cameo in right here. Ooh. Hello, here's some friendship stepping in. I'm glad she's finally on camera with us. So this is for a Virgo read. We have a fantastic Virgoan friend, which is Jessica. We need you to tune in and take a peek at this and say hello. We love you. And so we're going to tune back in. I'm going to weave this all together. And we're going to step back in here in a minute and find out why you crying those diamond tears, because you don't need to be. Tell yourself the truth and let it rise up, because it's unstoppable. And you, Virgo, are unstoppable. I'll be back with you in a minute, okay? Okay. So I'm so glad y'all got to meet her. That's my friend Bea. She calls herself a Hungarican. She spent half her life in Hungary and her other half here, and I'm so privileged to know her. She's my COVID friend. That's how we met each other, was in lockdown. And so we've been traveling some journeys here together. Lots of laughter, lots of fun. She's an Aries, if you're wondering why that spark is in those eyes. I got to tell you, we laugh all the time. And we also have another fantastic friend that we're very close to, who lives in the same complex that we live in. And her name is Jessica, and she is a Virgo. So maybe that's why this whole thing came about. So anyways, let's get back to you, Virgo, and find out. That's a little bit about me, but anyways, we're going to find out about you now. And when I like to shuffle off camera, remember, so I get all the decks cleaned up, get them ready, so that then I can rifle through on camera for you when necessary. And in the cuts of the deck of the Mary L, you were talking about some things going on underneath, some things still ready to rise up. And that's not for all of you, but for many of you, you've already gone through some of this leveling up. But there are those who thought they had, and they tried to clean and clear out as much of everything else but this one thing, this one job, this one relationship, this one mindset that they were okay with. I'm fine with is what I hear you saying. And you were trying to be okay with what your soul is not okay with. And the irony in that is I was like, okay, I see what's going on there, Virgo. So let's find out if you show up in the reading. And sure enough, remember, I had already shuffled and started your video. The main card speaking about it did show up. All right. So in here, your soul star is trying to rise up. It's not even trying. It's going to, with or without you. And the thing is, it'll be smoother and easier and a little less fancy if you get in the flow with it, right, and let it come on up and begin to give yourself permission to be true to what's really going on. Because it's like you're driving, 20 miles an hour with the emergency brake. Just eat slightly, just up just a little resistance, working to get yourself a bit, but it's burning you out and causing you to be frazzled. Now, the thing is here is, like, that resistance is going on. It's impossible to resist, okay? You're cutting on full power. Your sun is stepping forward, and who you are cannot be stopped. Okay, you're glowing up in every region, facet, and portion, and need to know by next birthday things will be drastically different for you. And you're like, no. But part of you is like, yes. And you're stepping into it, and I love that passion about you, because you've been so earthy and pragmatic and other-minded for so long that now stepping into the cycle of air that we're coming into, the 200 years of air, those things cannot be resisted any longer, and the leveling up is occurring whether we were on board or not. So the thing is when we cooperate with the change in life, it goes a lot more easily, and won't be any lessons to be learned, that type of thing, because if we will be discipled, if we will be taught, there's no need for the discipline, okay? That's remind me of the Kung Fu Kitty. Are you Kung Fuing? Huh? Is that what's going on? Got the resistance, the blocking going on? So you're not blocked, but you are blocking. Perfect. That makes a lot of sense. And there's like this fire that's stoking inside. So it's only building up the momentum and the pressure to dislodge, to eject, to forcefully be thrust forward. Those are shocking and a little bit shaky, scary words to be saying to a Virgo, but they're coming out, all right? Because underneath, here you are, the Queen of Dusk. You've been crying tears for quite a minute. How do you know? From all the pressure that you've put yourself under, because they are literally turning into diamonds and they are greening up our world and prospering our world. But meanwhile, you feel restrained, you feel controlled, and it's not in a good way anymore. That's that thing. It's just like this green in my couch. That's like you, just all verdant and beautiful and abounding in life. But your Chiron won't stop here with you, Virgo. Chiron won't stop with any of us, because Chiron showing up in Aries, the house of the healer, of the healed self, because it's showing up in what is the first house of the zodiac. That's the house of the self. And so it's that your self is preeminent. Your self is most important right now. And you could think, well, isn't that selfish? No, that's self. That's the thing, is that's our solarness, that's our sun, that's where we come from. Just like if you don't enjoy your own company, why would you think anybody else would, right? If you don't respect yourself, why would you be in self-respecting relationships, right? How could that happen? There's no way, because the tone is already set here. In Cancer, we were learning about setting the tone for what you're going out into. And so for here, the tone has been set and sown in sorrows. Bounty and beauty in the environment around you, but internal personal control and sorrow, and not like self-control in the way that we think, but like self-domination, self-suppression, that type of control that diminishes and depletes you, okay? And we need you, Virgo. We want you to flourish and you to be happy and you to thrive. So along with that, we've got the Fool coming in. These are interesting. So we got the Fool. This is a dancing Fool. Now this is a happy Fool, happy feet. This is the gossamer strings. This is your heart being set free and your passions being set free. No longer bound by reputation or images or of others' expectations. And not that you were hemmed in by that, but you had played good, played fair for so long. But that fair wasn't really fair. It was like a tipped scale of justice. It was like, you're like, girl, we done so many cartwheels. We've been tilted over and over and over again. And I was like, all right, makes perfect sense. Why? When I was playing around, retesting that microphone, they said, grab a card, join. I went, zip. And I looked it up, and it was perfection. And I'm like, I love perfection, and I love perfect, because to me, perfection means it all works out. That means somewhere in me, I'm trusting and moving along and flowing enough that I'm like, okay, I can kind of file it away. If I don't know what's going on or what it was about, I just stick it over here, knowing that keep going, Joy. It's all working out. It's all working out. So that's what perfection is to me. It's a very happy, balanced nature. But in this is a card of imbalance. It's a card of striving and forcing to hold a nature that isn't truly yours, okay? Because you can look closely at those hands. Look at the contortion, the distortion, okay, and the putting of oneself out, putting out your own joint, cutting your nose despite your face, that type of thing going on is creating an immense amount of friction. This isn't beautiful passion here. This is called combustion. Okay, what is that? Spontaneous combustion. They say people get whatever and then they just poof, they evaporate in thin air, like turn on fire. So in here, when we look at it, like a triangle isn't happy with 4 points, right? It's not happy as a square, because that's a triangle that's put out of shape. It's put out of joint, and you're disjointing yourself in order to appease and to please others, Virgo. I don't like that. I don't like that. All right, so let's back up to the Queen of Dusk for a moment, because again, the Tusk, I was fooling around with cards, and they're like, do not put those away, Joy. Those are for Virgo. And I'm like, well, I'm just the microphone. Well, not that crappy microphone. Pay that much for a microphone. It still acts skippy. I don't know what that's about. But here, you've been skipping about. You've been doing the same, flexing in and out. And you're like, okay, Joy, I'm ready to be. And you know how I know you are? You brought this forward. I don't force, I don't overwork cards, I don't do all this whatever over them, because that's not how I operate. For other people, that's how they tune in and tap in. I just simply surrender and avail myself to listen Listen to the song of your voices. Listen to the silent streams and what it is that's moving, the air moving across your heart. The ground moving, that's funny that I'm above the head, the ground moving beneath your feet and the waters that run deep, okay? And here, that's funny that you're having me say that because that's the unseen forces. That's what's going on. Finally being discontented that the world around you is happy and you're not. That you have some happy, beautiful people in your life that would love and completely support you in the decision that exalts your happiness, that your freedom, your playfulness, your playful spirit, your creative spirit, right? Look at this fool again. You see those gossamer threads? You're leading out in the dance of the butterfly. You're the butterfly spirit. This is the fool unto life. This is a pure open channel that's ready to receive and to go and not be bound by worries and cares, and not cares like caring cares. These are like low-level worries. They're woes. They're things like that, right? And you're like, I'm tired of being bound up. I'm tired of being trapped up in the coils of my mind, working it, mulling it over and over and over again ad infinitum, even without words. It's just like the hum and the drone, like when your refrigerator cuts on and it's... And you're like, no big deal. But once it goes off, you realize how much noise it was making, how much it was like amplifying anxiety and tension and stressors and other conditions that without it, you have a tremendous amount of peace. And being that this is choice-based, do I know your alternative? I do not. Do I know the unknown in the future? Well, you hadn't told me yet. But when and if you do, I will share it with you. That's what we're here for, okay, friend? But other than that, it's choice-based. So you're like, why do I keep choosing this joy? Why am I remaining in this? But the thing is, you're not. You've now come to where you're talking about this, okay? So you're beginning to see the unseen forces. You're beginning to see the value and the potency in your happiness and your ability to be able to let go and to not always have to hold it together for others, to not have to be that stabilizing, grounding force for other energies around you. And the thing is you're not being stuck, connected with some that are very angular and weighty and jaunty and heavy, and it's almost like you're suffocating under the shoe, and it's like a stone shoe, almost like under the pedestal of a sculpture. I don't like that. Where are you? I want to see you, Virgo. I want to see you. You're not the support system under someone else's pedestal. The pedestal is their support system. You're the one who's alongside. You're the beauty beside, the laughter beside, the support beside, the friend beside. You shouldn't be underneath anyone's feet, Virgo. Just know that bothers me, okay? And I have a feeling that bothers you because your soul knows differently. Your power has been tucked away for a little minute right here, pretending it's not there. Your bit of dogged determinedness, your insight, like you're cut to the chase, like you see it, and then you have to soften it and stream it on out and bake it into fluffy beignet pillows and donut pillows and fluffy feather pillows and all these pillows and clouds and cotton candy, and you're like, there we go, okay, I think I've got it, Joy. And I'm like, no, you don't. Take a look, friend. Do you recognize the feeling in these eyes? And that's the thing about the healed healer. It's like the cobbler's kids having shoes, right? Like the baker eating the pie, the host or the hostess imbibing and enjoying the company and the party and the liveliness of the event. Well, here you're finally like, stop. And you're not talking to me, you're talking to this, the wagging of the head, the averting of the attention, the distracting from the issue, the not being willing to face and to look at yourself. This is the environment and the condition. I've got to cover the environment around you. This is the environment and condition of you. Okay? This is the real you. You're connected in streams and ways that we can't even fathom, but very earthy and practical, applicable ways. Like you're a world changer, Virgo. And you're like, yeah, I am. And it makes you feel really good and very peaceful. Do you feel that calm? It's like the sound after that refrigerator, the den of the refrigerator, that hum of the motor kicks off. It's almost like a resolution or an ending, but actually it's the silence before the creative spark, before the lift, before the inspiration, before the genie, which is the plural genius. That's what they talk about when they talk to me. I'm like, you're a genius, you're a genius. But meanwhile, this has been opposing of the gates. These unseen forces, they've been blocking your gates. But as we learn from Kung Fu Kitty, you're like, quack, 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 quack. You've been blocking your gates. Your eye gates, your ear gates, your mouth gate. You've been suppressing your voice inside, not just out to others, but your truth to yourself. You know, knowing what you see, that you don't like the way you look when you look in the mirror because you realize you're stressed, you're bedraggled, you're worn down, that type of thing. You don't like what you hear yourself saying because you don't want to say or hear those things because you know it's true. And it's like you're calling it the ugly truth, but it's truth. And that leads to beauty because it leads to integrity and alignment, right? The eyes, the Scorpio, pardon me, y'all, stretchy stretch. Tune in to some Scorpio to find out about what eyes, these eyes. The alignment's here and you're telling me to look. Let's look at Azrael, the angel of death. Okay. So this is not an untimely death. This isn't a scary or horrific death. This is a natural cycle of life, a closing and an ending. There's closure coming in here, and it's very Taurian. It's been slow to come about, and you've been thinking about it for some time and mulling it over, not so much in words necessarily, but in the energy of your heart and your mind. But, you know, part of this is what I could say is your path because it's written. It's written. It's already written. Okay? And for some of you, take a look at the Pisces video. It's time to taste and see what you're made of, okay, friend? But Azrael's the one that cleans house for me. Azrael's the one that unsavory events and experiences, no matter whether they're bad or not, sometimes it's just that, like, I don't want to have to tell, you know, let somebody down or anything like that. It's those type of things like that, that resident energy I can call an Azrael and Antelon, and they begin to pull it and clean it out, and they filter it and recycle it into healthy vibration that restores life back to the rest of the world, but also removes that shackle, that shield, that like squall of death off of me, okay, of what doesn't belong to me, okay, clearing that away. So I want to see, we're going to get a mystical magical moment for you. And you're like, there it is, Joy. I want this mystical magical moment right here. And I'm like, what's that? You want perfect. You want 37, which is 10. A creative return of your energy, which is no rain today. Which, what? Being able to see your whole face again. Yes, there is still a bit of a shadow over here, but that's where your future self is coming on in to comfort you, to nourish you, to nurture you, and to release this pressure that's in. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be tears, right? You can just go get in some water, take a shower or whatever to wash and to release off that energy, just like I was talking about with Azrael, okay? Take it and wash it off. Sit and watch a sunrise, watch a sunset, you know, have a glass of wine, a cup of tea, whatever, a breath of fresh air, and just allow your mind to begin to release it, giving yourself permission to be quiet and calm about what is coming, okay? So, and I want you to know you will dance again. You will celebrate again. That's what you're pointing out here. You're like, Joy, let them know. Let them know. And you will begin to shine again. You'll have that, like, that set period of time of, like, this, the deemed morning, you know, MOURNING. What is up, y'all? That deemed period of mourning, so that societally acceptable to kind of maybe avert people's eyes. Because really the truth is, once you've done it, once you've done the unsavory, and then you let it go and cleanse it out, then you're like, I'm ready to get on. I'm ready to step into this. You're like reinvigorated and motivated in this new energy, like dance around like the gossamer food with your threads, your heartstrings, the beauty of life, your kundalini power rising up, your balance being restored, and you feel evocative and happy and emanating of your light. I love that. I love that, and I hope you love this, that you could hear the reading quite well, Virgo. I know it's still old school. The lighting didn't work for me. The microphone didn't work, but hopefully if you've been here before and you've returned again, that this is enough. I thank you for joining me. You know what? Leave your comments down below so I can know what's going on in your life and take a peek through this lens over into your world. I'm here for you, friend. I love you and I believe in you.